They finally got it. It's like they finally figured it out 3 years way too late. This is coming to us from Yahoo Finance. Black men are voting for Trump because of chauvinism. Former NAACP president. This is written by Kristen Myers, who's on the screen right there, and as we can all tell, she's absolutely stunning. I could have done this video in 16:9, but it's been a while since I did a long boy, so here we are. Black men who choose to vote for Donald Trump are doing so because of chauvinism, said former NAACP President Ben Jealous. While research indicates that more than 80% of black voters will vote for Democrats because most of them live in urban centers, large differences remain between black men and women. According to Pew Research, 87% of black women identify as Democrat compared to 77% of black men. In the 2016 election, 98% of black women voted for Hillary Clinton over Trump, and she still lost, compared to just 81% of black men who voted for Clinton that year, according to validated election results. And the fun part, guys, is that instead of saying, hey, yeah, maybe we should listen to our men and see things, try to see things from their perspective, you gotta remember they're chicks. So our perspective don't matter at all. They'll go whatever way they so desire. And they've decided to go with the whole Trump derangement syndrome route. Fine, have at it, but don't expect people who think logically and try to bring some sense to things to follow you down that road. And that definitely hasn't happened over the past 4 years. The reason why you see white men, brown men, black men all voting at higher rates for Trump than the women in each category, frankly, is his appeal to a chauvinism, to machoism, to patriarchy, by whatever name you call it, Jealous told Yahoo Finance. And so what you see in group after group, he trends higher with men. Yes, because it's so important, particularly in that leadership role, to be the guy that guys want to be and chicks want to be with. And Trump is that dude, whether you like him or not. At first, it seemed as if, we were kind of stuck with him, but now it's like, it's actually really good to have him there, not running things off of emotion. Jealous, a current president for the people of the American way, explains that Trump's strongman persona was one that some men feel is the most valuable thing they have, because it is. Whether you like it or not. I know guys like Ben Jealous, sugary dudes, alphabeticals, and like everybody that, finds themselves fiending for a taste of the peen. Not over here. But yeah, like them, they're all like just filled with soy and estrogen and running off fear. That's why you've had all these different men sitting here crying about a virus with a 99% survival rate. And that's because, they're weak. They are weak. The black vote is critical to both Democrats and Republicans, and the Trump campaign has been trying to double support from 6% in 2016 to 12% this year. I can't help but feel like he's blown it out of the water. Celebrities like Lil Wayne, 50 Cent, Ice Cube have all voiced support for President Trump or his policies, citing his platinum plan, Trump's promise to Black America, and his tax policies, which they say are better for higher bracket earners than Biden. Once again, platinum plan is the exact same throwing money at the problems deal as before, but it has a shiny new bow on it. So yeah, I'm not fooled by that. Jealous says that Trump's funding of HBCUs isn't swaying black voters to vote for Republicans. There's a White House office on HBCUs. It's not new to Trump, and Trump has no history with HBCUs prior to coming into office. Because he didn't go to HBCU. Okay. Oh, so stupid. It is simply a virtue of whoever's in the White House that there's a White House office on HBCUs, he said. Oh, it is so feminine. Like, this dude is such a chick. He's sitting there like, well, it was there anyway, so it doesn't really matter. As the black vote bloc increases in importance, voter suppression, including long wait times, continues to disproportionately impact minority communities. Yeah, and maybe you should talk to their mayors. Maybe you should talk to their council reps. Maybe you should talk to their governors, okay? Voting problems. Studies have found that black communities face longer wait times to vote than their white counterparts, while the Bipartisan Policy Center found that over 560,000 eligible voters failed to cast a ballot because of problems relating to polling place management, including long lines. as someone who grew up in a black community, continues to live in a black community to this day, with it being as with it being as owned by the Democratic Party as it is, I've never, not once in my life, and this is including when I was voting out in California, I've never had a wait line to vote. It's always been a rather snappy situation for me. So hey, but that's anecdotal, right? They got the numbers on their side. Using data from the 2016 election, research shows that black voters wait nearly 30% longer than their white counterparts, while black neighborhoods were approximately 75% more likely to wait 30 minutes or more. Once again, I've never run across that. Jealous said that the black vote has been targeted as a high impact way to hurt Democrats, and with high levels of frustration in the black community towards politicians of any party around economic issues like poverty, the black vote has been fertile ground for mischief and confusion. Jealous said, Jesus Christ, this guy. Like, this khaki-colored Negro. I'm glad to see, quite frankly, Biden competing more for the black male vote by telling us we're not black if he Okay, yeah, sure, buddy. Sure, he said, Democrats absolutely have to be making the case to their base and making it clear how they're going to improve people's lives. But there is no denying that from the Russians to the far right wing, there has been intentional targeting of the black vote and specifically of young black voters. And even within that, black men who frankly have sky-high joblessness in many places. Talk to their mayors. Duh. But Democrats will have to be held accountable to promises made to minority voters and to policies that will benefit their communities. But first, Jealous explained, is ensuring that the majority rule works in the Senate so that the country doesn't see a minority of Republican senators hold a nation hostage when it comes to making progress, sort of like how the blue team's been holding the stimulus package hostage. Oh my Christ, these people are insane. But I'm going to admit, he's right, though. We want that strength, particularly, and I'm a man who had his father. So I can only imagine, like, if you look at, like, the Kanye West, like, because that's one of the things Kanye was big about. He was like, oh, man, it's like, yo, like, just that male energy, like, testosterone, like, that we gonna get shit done instead of worry about people's feelings. That was all we've been looking for a very long time. And now that we have somebody out there getting it done, this really shouldn't come as a surprise. Will there always be, your Pookies and your Ray Rays and your lazy bums that really don't want to do much of anything, or your Ben Jealouses who make money and have basically built their entire careers off of being victims, former president of the NAACP and the like. Oh, of course. But when it comes to, the solid cis heterosexual black man, the one I at least speak as, I don't speak for anyone, but I speak as, yeah, we're impressed with what we've seen, and particularly compared to what we're being offered, it's not even a contest. And let's play it a little bit, because, Christine Myers is kind of fine, guys.
On Ben Jealous. He's the former president of the NAACP and the current president of the progressive advocacy group, People for the American Way. Ben, thank you.
Progressive advocacy group, communist Marxist.
Thank you so much for joining us today. Over the last few months, we've seen a lot of protests over the deaths of George Floyd, Breonna Taylor recently.
Okay, yeah, we don't care about any of that. You are just incredibly sexy, and so I wanted you guys to at least hear her voice. So, if you want to put in the spank bank, you got an idea of what she sounds like. Because you know what? Yeah, we are chauvinists. We are misogynists. We are everything that they claim for us to be. And you know what? Not to be a bit of a dick about it, but you're a chick. Your opinion, I'm not really going to hold it to that high of an account because of, the neuroses and the like. So with that being said, we're going to bring this one to an end. All the internet stuff. If you like to toss it a like, dislike, go ahead, do that too. Nobody's scared of you. Sub if you enjoy my fantastic voice. Want to get videos like this every single day. Share because sharing is caring. And YouTube and Bitchute and like aren't the biggest fans of your boy over here for very obvious reasons. Bang the bell for notifications. Get something from Teespring, and also check me out over on Patreon. Links are in the description. And speak. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Like they talk of this stuff like it's a bad thing. They talk about, oh well, black men, they're going to vote for Trump due to chauvinism and to produce the patriarchy. And it's like, you know what? Having missed so much quote unquote patriarchy from our lives and from our communities for so long, and having all of these women basically run things for the longest. You know what? It's not a terrible thing. It really isn't. But you may disagree, and that's what my comment section's for. Until the next one.